11 o'clock, that means it's once again time for the Boroughs. I'm Kevin Bunk, joined by Mike Merlo. Every week, this is our podcast on BTO Media, the longest podcast that we do here on BTO, where we talk Mets, Yankees, everything else in the league. Today, we've got some rookie draft going on. If you saw last week's draft, we did an all-Subway Series team. You can still go and vote on that for fun, but the reason we want you to vote on it is that we determine who wins, who gets picked this week. The first pick this week, Mike, I absolutely smoked you in that draft last week.
Yeah, you screwed me there. You put Cano's face with the Mets hat. I think that screwed people up.
Doesn't make a difference.
It messed me up. No, it does. I think it did.
No difference. Absolutely no difference. My team was way better than yours. My baseball IQ is way higher than yours. My knowledge of the game is way higher. And we prove that every day, whether we do a draft or not.
We'll see today. We'll see today in this draft. It's a very fun draft. I'm looking forward to it very much.
We also have trivia later. We have Mike tries to hit for the cycle. That's basically his way of showing you how to bet $1 and win $10 billion on the most impossible bet of the day. Hitting for the cycle, you got to pick a player to hit a single, double, triple, and a home run. 4 different players, not one to hit for the entire cycle. So we'll do that later, and then we'll go around the league where the Houston Astros are once again on top of it. We'll talk that later. But Mike, last night, the Mets almost killed half of their fan base with the way that they won their game against the Nationals, first game of the series in Washington. Walk me through your viewing experience of that game.
It didn't feel like a win. It just felt like you got out of there and survived. Didn't feel like you won anything. Now, today, it's like, okay, you won the game. You're back to 500 again. But Kevin, it's just like out for this bullpen. And sure, Mendoza brings in a minor league bullpen arm to try and save Reed Garrett for tomorrow. And, listen, getting 2 outs felt like moving mountains. Getting 3 was almost impossible for this kid. And they have to bring in Garrett to get the 3rd. He gives up an RBI single. Now the winning run comes up to the plate. It stunk. It absolutely stunk because the game probably should have ended before extra innings. But a crazy, weird hop that went past Taylor in the 8th, scores Jesse Winker from first on a bloop single. It looked like this was going to be one of those May games, Kevin, even in before extra innings, excuse me, almost said regulation. Before extra innings started, it looked like a May game. So it just frustrating, but they got the win.
When I was following this game, I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched the extra inning, the top of the 10th, actually, I watched. And then I turned on the bottom of the 10th once I had realized that it was a potential implosion. So I was watching the United States soccer game. I was watching a couple other things, and I was doing some stuff. And I go on Twitter when it was 2-0, didn't know it was 2-0, and saw Frank the Tank 0-3 since the concert.
Yeah.
So I look at the score. I was like, all right, 2-0. I thought the Mets were getting killed when I saw that tweet, but I had to double check because it was Frank the Tank. Then I see the Mets are up 3-2. And then I check again, it's 3-3. So I turn the game on for extras, and it's, 9-3, 9-4, 9-3, going into the bottom of the 10th. So I turn it off, say, Mets, nice top of the 10th, that's a win. And then I see Frank the Tank again on Twitter. Another bullpen implosion, and it was from 2 minutes ago. I was like, what happened? I turned the game on, it's 9-7. So it was an experience following that game last night, not watching it, then having to check the box score, trying to learn who the hell was pitching for the Mets, reading a quick bio on ESPN about the guy. And bottom line is, Mets got the win back to 500 on the road, picked up game 1 of a 4-game set with the Nationals. That's a big win for the Mets.
The Nats are a pesky team. I don't want to pat myself on the back too much. I told people, like friends of mine, that the Nats are going to have one of the quickest rebuilds ever, and it seems as though they have, considering the rebuild they've gone through. So I'll pat myself on the back there. I loved what they did, and the trade for Soto is just unbelievable. We can talk about that in a few minutes. But they're a pesky team. They're not easy. CJ Abrams is a great, great player at shortstop. I'm honestly hoping for a split here at this point with the way they played yesterday, even though the Mets have now beat them 4 straight times this year. But, Kevin, there's no doubt about this, okay? They have to do everything they can. They have to get creative. I don't know what it is. Do you bring up starters from AAA that seem like major league arms and put them in the bullpen? I don't know what the answer is. but they need to do something because even with Diaz and Charterine Foley out, and you're going to get them back in a couple of days here, it doesn't matter. You don't have enough guys in this bullpen right now to get you through, to even get you to the trade deadline. So we can talk about possible trades they can make and get some extra arms here. But right now, to get you to July 30th, whatever the date is, they need to bring up guys immediately.
It's got to be shuffling starters that are minor league starters that are not promising minor league starters, guys that are maybe 27, 28 that have had decent seasons that you're kind of confident in for an inning. Go to those guys, bring them up, get them in the pen. Because, Mike, let's fast forward here to the deadline. Say there's 10 real impact upgrade relievers available that get moved. That might even be a lot. Say there's 10 really impactful relievers that get moved. The Mets are not going to be one of the teams that I think ends up with one because it's going to be a bidding war because 22 teams think that they can make a playoff run right now. And it's going to be a bidding war. And David Stearns is going to say, well, do I really want to give up a decent level prospect here for a half-season rental in a year that we might not make the playoffs with him? Because I think that we're in almost as good of a spot without him as we are with him. And I'm not giving up that prospect to outbid, whether it be St. Louis or even the Yankees or the Orioles, one of the top teams, if they want one of those guys. Because every team needs bullpen arms right now. And the Mets aren't going to be one of the teams that bid for him. So it's got to come internally.
They have to get creative. And there's going to be trades that they make, Kevin. You're 100% right. They're not going to be after the big-time guys. I mean, look at what they got for David Robertson last year. Yeah, they traded him early to a division rival. But Met fans saw the package they got back. 2 really young prospects that have shot through their system, and one of them is already a top 10 prospect. These relievers go for a lot at the deadline, so you're 100% right. Stearns isn't going to want to trade for one of these big guys, trade one of his big prospects for a season that, listen, do they deserve the chance to, buy and have a chance to make the playoffs? Yes, they've proved that the last month or so, but they're going to have to get creative, and I saw this on Twitter last night, and I forget who tweeted this, but I'm not taking credit for it, but I can't give credit. In 2019, the Brewers needed bullpen help, and Stearns didn't go out there and make a big splash trade. You know who he traded for?
Who?
Drew Pomerantz, who was having a terrible year with the Giants. He came in there, slotted into that bullpen, became a multi-inning reliever guy for them, a left-handed pitcher, and was very effective down the stretch, and a big reason why they went on a run that year. So I think that's the year they went on the run. Was it 19? No, they didn't go on the run. They went on the year at 18. But either way, he was really good down the stretch for them. Those are the kinds of trades we're going to see from Stearns. And some of the call-ups we'll see. Just try something out.
Yeah, good call there with Pomerantz. That's type of thing that we could see Stearns do. David Stearns definitely has worked well. I want to use the right term here, but well with a budget in the past. He's worked really well with a budget. I think at this deadline, they should behave as if they have a budget because getting too buyer happy here, and they wouldn't even go after a big name if they were too buyer happy for my liking. They would go after just like B tier veterans that I still don't think they should really be making moves for because I like the way this Mets team is constructed right now for next season. I like the way that they could move into sustained winning after this year, and this deadline could potentially disrupt that because you want to hold that ammunition for the offseason and for next trade deadline when I think they're really going to need it and really going to say, hey, an upgrade here not only gets us to a wild card spot, it gets us to compete with Atlanta or Philadelphia, and we think this guy could help us win a championship.
Yeah, Stearns knows this. Obviously, he's not going to mortgage the future this season, but again, it's going to be smart trades, right? It's going to be, savvy trades that get this done. Also, you do have the financial muscle of Steve Cohen, where they have said, David Stearns at a press conference before the Astros series, and it's like, yeah, Cohen's willing to spend whatever. So do you take on a bad contract for the rest of the year or even into next year to get an arm? Maybe you do that, maybe to lessen the prospect value going back. Maybe you do that. That's something we've seen them do in the past, and they're willing to do that. So it's all about keeping the foundation, like you mentioned, of, possibly going on a run, but they owe it to this team, Kevin, to make a trade to improve this bullpen to give themselves a chance to make the playoffs as long as they continue to play well in July.
Yeah, absolutely. This team, this young group especially, I think it's important to make the impression on the young guys that we're here to win. We're not here to lose and save for next year. I'm watching right now the Michael Jordan Last Dance. I've already seen it once.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it when it came out in COVID. I'm watching it right now, and he's talking about how in his second year, he was injured, and they put him on a minutes restriction, but the minutes restriction didn't make any sense. It was 7 minutes per half, and the team kind of just came up with that, but it was because they wanted to lose. They made the playoffs. They were 30-52, and they made the playoffs as the 8th seed. They're the worst NBA team to ever make the playoffs. But they made the playoffs at 30-52, and he just talked about how the fact that he had any inkling about the team wanting to lose and not even wanting to lose, but not trying to win, turned him off so much to the entire front office and coaching staff. That is not just a Michael Jordan thing. That is a Francisco Alvarez thing, Mark Vientos thing. These guys are playing really well, and they don't want their year to be for nothing. They get them some postseason games here, Mike. Get them a feel for what Citi Field is. They won't play at Citi Field unless they win a round, but get them a feel for what this city does and what Queens does when the Mets are a playoff team and a team they can rally around. Because I think the Mets, while always compared to the Yankees, and the Mets have a very special, intimate fan base when they're very good. And we see that last week with Iglesias and OMG. We see flashes of that with Grimace. I mean, we've seen this over this past month. This borough get very excited about the Mets.
Keep going.
I was just gonna say, so let's get them that taste of it. Really, when you get a week or two of playoff games,
it's a tortured fan base. It's an absolutely tortured fan base that wants nothing more than they expect the worst, but they still believe and they still want obviously the best, and they believe, knowing in the back of their mind that something bad's going to happen. Like last night, thinking, as Gary Cohen talks about Kurt Suzuki hitting a walk-off 3-run shot and the Mets blow a 6-run lead in the 9th, like, the same exact thing was happening only in the 10th 5 years later without Edwin Diaz on the mound. So yeah, you make a great point of getting these young guys that feel, that taste. Even right now, I think it's good for them to experience a little bit of a run, a little bit of a playoff run, right? Being in the thick of things and playing important games, even if it's only June and July, that's big for them. These kids, though, especially Alvarez, feel like they're older, right? He does not feel like a 23-year-old kid, 24-year-old kid as old as he is. He's beloved in that clubhouse. I think David Stearns called him the heart and soul of this team. And that's a big, big statement to make from your president of baseball operations to a 23, 24-year-old kid. So this team deserves it. Do they have enough starting pitching? That's also another thing. They have depth, but these guys might not be good enough. They have to go deeper into games. We'll see what happens.
Where would you rank Francisco Alvarez in catchers right now in Major League Baseball?
Oh, that's a good question.
Who are the guys you'd take over him?
I'm taking Adley over him.
Yep. I'm taking Will Smith.
I'm definitely taking Will Smith. Would you take Sean Murphy? I don't know. Realmuto's tough because he's older and you're starting to see the offensive production slip a little bit. I might take Alvarez at this point.
I might also.
Murphy's been banged up. I don't know if I'm taking Murphy.
I'd take Alvarez right now. I'd take Alvarez over Murphy. I mean, Salvi is 49 years old, but he's probably still he's great. So
how about the guy on Houston, Yanner Diaz? He's having a really good year.
Yep.
I'd still probably take Alvarez.
So is he the third best catcher in Major League Baseball?
I don't know if he's the third best catcher in Major League Baseball, but in terms of going forward for the next 2-3 years, I definitely think he's
it's the third most valuable catcher in Major League Baseball.
Third.
Wonderful. Yeah, it's nice to have a catcher because you can count on your hand how many you'd like to have on your team, and then the rest you kind of just have to take for a year or two and hope you find someone else.
Are we forgetting anybody? No, I don't think so. Oh yeah, we are. Contreras. Would you say Contreras?
Both Contreras.
Both of them.
Let me see their stats.
Williams having a really good year.
I wouldn't take Wilson over him at this point.
Even though Wilson was having a good year before he broke his arm.
Yeah. Yeah, Williams had a sick year in Milwaukee.
Yeah, Williams good. Williams up there too.
296 and 82 games played. 10 home runs, 51 ribbies. I don't know his fielding ability.
What's his
I
WAR?
remember it being pretty good when he was younger. Let's see, WAR, ESPN makes it so hard to get the WAR.
Oh, you're on ESPN.
Yeah, because I googled him and then didn't give me the baseball reference. His WAR is 2.5.
He's probably not bad, not a terrible defender.
No, but Alvarez has surprised me defensively.
He's been great.
Because we talked about this last week or the week prior. They make it to tamper your expectations. They make it like, oh well, he can't field, so don't get too excited about it. And then he's been great behind the plate.
Well, after 2 weeks of making that statement about Vientos, take it back. He can't play third base. I mean,
He sucks at third base.
I can't do it. He makes sometimes he'll make like the really flashy play, like he robbed Volpe of a double on the first pitch of the game, on the Wednesday game.
Yeah,
he'll make the great play, and he'll make the easy plays at times, but he has some boneheaded errors. I can't with him. I'm done. I'm already done, but whatever. His bat's been so great. But Alvarez
he's a DH for first baseman. Alvarez is great. Alvarez he's the guy. He's the face of the franchise going forward. I think he jumps Lindor.
And I didn't believe it. I really didn't believe it. I was still a little skeptical coming into this year, but no, he's the real deal.
He is. He really is. He jumps Lindor as the face of this franchise moving forward. And
don't disrespect
whether Alonso's
Lindor,
here or not, I'm not disrespecting Lindor. This is quite the opposite. This is praise on Alvarez.
Okay. All right. Let's make it sure.
Lindor, who's been good, and the numbers don't lie. This guy's going to be a first or second ballot Hall of Famer, and he's kept up his production. All right. Is he the superstar he was in Cleveland? No. But is he still really good with the Mets in his tenure?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he has been. Yeah. But Alvarez, homegrown guy at the catcher position who's involved with every play, seems to have a knack for some clutch hits too.
Yeah, last night he had a big clutch hit.
He seems to be just relaxed, calm when he's in the big spot, and he's the future of this team, and he's the face of it.
And you know what he's doing now too, Kevin, which is so impressive since he's come back from injury? He's working deep counts. He's taking pitches that you would not expect a 23-year-old slugger to come up there and take. His at-bats are impressive lately. So, I can't believe it. I can't believe it because, again, let's go back to the fan base. Negativity. Oh, you have this big prospect. Face of the franchise. Last time we had that was Ahmed Rosario. Look what happened there. So it's like, you can't blame me for being skeptical.
Remember the Rosario Dom Smith summer?
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm like, here we go. It's right. It's all over again. Just that, the other corner position with Dom Smith. And that's what it was. That's what it felt like.
That's what it was. It felt like they were about to turn the corner and be great. And then Dom Smith shows up and he's like 35, 40 pounds overweight and he can't swing the bat. He has no power at all.
Can't move at first.
Can't move at all. Rough summer that turned out. This one, the Vientos Alvarez summer has been much better than the Rosario Smith summer.
Yes, this is much better.
Listen, think about it. Fast forward 2 years, 2026, Mets win the World Series. All right?
Yeah.
They hit Stearns has a couple nice free agency moves.
Burns starting game one.
Burns starts game one, shoves 8 innings, 1 run. Mets win 3-1. Mets beat the Yankees in the World Series in 26. Queens is on fire. 15 years from now, the player you will associate with that team, as Yankee fans associate Jeter with a stacked team, is Alvarez.
Mm-hmm.
Alvarez is the guy that you say that was our guy on that team.
Yeah. I can see it. I can see it right now, Kevin. I can see it right now.
Lindor was a good veteran on that team. You'll never forget him. You'll always appreciate him. But Alvarez was our guy. Whether he was the best player or not, he was our guy.
And there's 4 more position players that they feel really strongly about coming up next year.
I wish we got to see Mauricio. I said this every show for the last 2 weeks.
5 more.
I wish we got to see Mauricio this season because he showed the most promise out of all of them.
The future might be bright. It might be bright.
Like, the future's the brightest.
Let's win this year, though. Come on.
Let's get to the playoffs this season. I was thinking this morning, it would be nice if we were sitting here first, second week of October. We got our Sunday recaps here on BTO that you can check out where we talk NFL Sunday. And then Tuesdays, we turn around for Yankees Mets postseason, and we got postseason baseball.
Sick.
And the Mets win around, and we're both in the ALDS, NLDS. And vibes would be so high at that point in the year. Jets are 2-4, Giants are 1-5.
Yeah, I was going to say the Giants are not going to be keeping the vibe.
And everything's rolling our way at that point. Once that second week of October comes around, and the Yankees and Mets are up 2-0 in the ALDS, the division series, and we're just feeling great about it.
Well, that was my life in 22. The Giants got off to this great start. They beat the Packers. Later that day,
yeah,
Giants, the Mets lost to the Padres in Game 3 of the wild card round. So that was greatest.
This year, a loss in the wild card round would be so different too, because the expectations were so low. That 22 team for the whole season, we were saying World Series. Get through the NL. Let's go. Get Buck to the World Series. Subway Series was the talk of New York. And neither team gets there. Yankees get swept out of the ALCS. Mets had a terrible implosion with the Braves.
It felt like a funeral.
The Padres. It was a depressing end to that season because of the expectations. Now, the Yankees have those expectations this year. If they were to lose to Baltimore in September in a crucial series to win the division and then lose in the first round of the playoffs, same exact thing, I think.
Yeah.
Same exact thing. Maybe even a little worse, but maybe I'm biased. And then for the Mets, it's quite the opposite. It's, hey, if you get in and get swept out of the first round, I can't wait for next year. Let's see what we do this offseason.
Yeah. No, the expectations are different. It would be exactly the same thing. It's a great comparison if the Yankees were to lose, get swept by Baltimore in the second to last series in Baltimore, lose the division that you had the lead for most of the year, and then lose in the wild card round. That's exactly what it would be like.
It would be the same exact thing, and I do believe that the hype around Lindor for the Mets up until that point in 20 was that 22 or 20? It was 22.
Yeah.
Up until that point was as exciting as Soto. Fans loved him with the Mets as Yankee fans love Soto. I do. I really thought
stretch.
I thought that fans
Soto's
loved
different
him, though.
They did, but Soto's
fans
different.
Loved him like that. Soto's a better player than Lindor ever was.
Yeah.
But I think fans were as excited because it's like a maximum level of excitement when you add a guy like that.
It is, but you have to remember the Mets fans were pissed. No, I wouldn't say pissed, but they were disappointed with the 21 season where they did have a division lead for most of the year. It wasn't a great team. They lost to Grom, but Lindor got off to the terrible start. Then he was hurt for the first time basically in his entire career, missed some time. He came back and was good in 21, but fans were not happy with the 2021 Francisco Lindor. There was excitement around the whole team, sure, but they weren't. I don't think the level in 22 was ever like the one. I mean, Soto is Soto. I mean, there's not many players like Juan Soto.
There's only one player like Juan Soto, and he hits right after him.
And that guy's better.
That guy's way better. Isn't it crazy? We'll segue into the Yankees here a little. The only thing I have to talk about with the Yankees right now is Aaron Judge. I know the Yankees split the series with Toronto, but it's still, they're just kind of middling right now. And we'll see what happens with the series with the Reds this week. Frankie Montas, 1 o'clock, 4th of July, must-watch TV, pitching against the Yanks. But it's just Aaron Judge right now. That's all it is. And he's certainly going to be a name that comes up later when we do our rookies draft.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all about Judge. When's the last time we saw a player dominate an MLB season like this? Or was it last year with Shohei Ohtani?
He's doing it on a different level, right, than Ohtani on one side. You could argue whether or not you think Ohtani's more impressive. His offensive numbers, weren't Judge's at this point, obviously. And, I mean, Ohtani pitches. So just basically from one side of the plate, how dominant is this? I'll give you a comparison. Flip it over to the pitching side. How about DeGrom the first 2 months of the year in 2021 before he got hurt? That's one of the most dominant players I've ever seen in my entire life. This is comparable to that. The way Judge has been since April 26th, I think it is. It's just a tear that we haven't seen from an offensive player probably since Barry Bonds. It truly is impressive. Maybe Pujols, right? People forget about Pujols early in his days with St. Louis. There's no words to describe what he is other than unbelievable. Every time he hits a home run, why pitch to him? There's no reason to pitch to him. Just walk him.
We saw that in the Mets series, and we talked about it extensively last week. Don't pitch to Aaron Judge, because if you get through him, you're not going to get in trouble after. Yankees did punish the Blue Jays, though, on Sunday, which was nice to see. LeMahieu had a couple extra base hits this weekend, and Torres had a couple big hits. Let's talk about this one. Marcus Stroman in the dugout and on the field. What are your thoughts on that outburst by him? Did you see the play with Volpe and Torres?
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that as a non-Yankees fan?
See, I thought I was about to watch a play where I saw Glaber kind of just lollygag and dogging it. And that's not what I saw. I just saw a guy beat out a double play. Listen, was Glaber a little slow? Yeah, but I mean, what do you expect from Glaber? That's Glaber. So I'm okay with guys having passion on the field. I'm okay with Justin Steele screaming in the dugout after an embarrassing inning where the Cubs made 3 misplays on probably 3 outs that ended up leading to a bunch of runs. I'm okay with guys like that really blowing up when things are getting bad. You got to calm down. You got to apologize after, but you're in the heat of the moment. I guess I have a problem with him singling out a guy talking about Glaber, but at the end of the day, I mean, you have Mr. Judge in there keeping everything nice and level and getting guys back on track. And it's a good thing to have a guy like that in the locker room where he is truly the leader. I mean, he should run for president. I would trust him to run for president right now because he is just the ultimate leader. He's the best captain in sports at this point, right?
He is right now. I mean, maybe there's a couple captains in the NHL that are better, but I don't know. I wouldn't know them to say it. I have no idea. I'd have to go through it. But the problem I have with Judge and Boone's dynamic is it doesn't seem to be any singling out ever in any scenario, even behind the scenes. Like, I don't know if Boone calls Torres into his office and just lays into him after dogging out a ground ball, or it just doesn't happen. So seeing Stroman do it, actually, I thought that might have gone a long way, but it's important to have Judge on the back end of it saying, hey, it's not cool. However, the message still got out there. Even if it was resolved, it got out there that there's a guy on this team in Stroman who I still don't know how to feel about him. He's been good this year. I don't like him, though. I never liked the guy, and I don't love the pitcher because, truthfully, he's been below average since leaving Toronto.
Yeah.
But there's a guy who's played his tail off this year every time he's took the mound and been really passionate about being a Yankee. And he called out a guy that seems to take it for granted that he's a New York Yankee and he's really just a Major League Baseball player. He seems to take it all for granted.
It's a great point. If it woke him up and yet you still got it on the back end where Judge says that's not okay, you have the apology, but it woke him up, like you mentioned, the message got out there either way, then it's almost a perfect situation because he ended up he had a home run in that game or the next game.
Next at bat.
So there we go. If it woke him up, that's a good thing. If this team is going to be what we believe they can be, which is a World Series, holding up the trophy at the end of the season, they're going to need Gleyber Torres to give you something close to what he did in 2023, which was a really solid production from a second baseman offensively. You're going to need something close to that because this lineup is it's not long right now. Verdugo seems like he's picked it up. He got robbed of a home run over the weekend. Ben Rice had a good weekend. He's looked like he's going to be a player here. So the problems we thought we had on Thursday when we did our recap of the Subway Series, guys started to hit a little bit. Like you mentioned, LeMahieu had a couple of at-bats, a couple of extra base hits, So maybe guys are waking up, but you got to get Stanton back. Verdugo getting back on track's a good thing. What happens when Rizzo comes back? Does Ben Rice play that into a competition, which would only be a good thing?
And I tell you, Ben Rice has been very good so far. He's not hitting 330, not tearing it up right now statistically, but every at-bat is good. And sometimes when the lineup's not long, when the lineup's 3 hitters long, as it is for the Yankees the last 2 or 3 weeks, to have a guy in the 5-6 spot that just gives you good at-bats and has pop and has to make a pitcher work, and he's hitting what, 280 right now, 270. So that goes a long way. And when it's a young guy, how about the injection of life that the Mets have and that some other teams have with young players? The Orioles, the greatest example right now. I'd love to see the Yankees just bump out the older guys. LeMahieu gives you no juice. Torres gives you no juice. And let's get the young guys in here until the deadline, see what they can do, get a little more athletic. And Ben Rice has done that for them.
As much as we said last week, LeMahieu's not a major league hitter anymore. And, he gave you about a month or so of showing you that he probably doesn't belong. Maybe he turns a corner. I mean, this guy has done it at the highest level at this game. So maybe he turns a corner here. You're not going to release him as much as we would have liked to last week. You're probably not going to release him this year. It would have to be something done in the offseason. So it's very interesting. Maybe he could give you something offensively, be a 9-hitter, an 8-hitter, anything.
How about him making me look like an idiot last week? I post the video. I do the rant on here, and then we single the video posted about LeMahieu shouldn't be on the team. He's not a major league hitter, and then he has his best weekend of the year. I mean,
you knew that was coming. You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. He was under the spotlight.
He made you look great with your little "he hit the balls hard" Mendoza comment.
Yes.
Made you look terrific with that, because then he hit a couple balls hard that actually landed on the field this time.
It's what happens, though. It is true. I mean, as much as fans don't want to hear it, it's like, all right, you hit into. I mean, all I heard, even when Lindor was struggling, was Lindor's hitting to the worst luck in baseball. Same thing with Nimmo, and now that they're having great seasons, same crap. And then it starts to fall.
There's definitely something to luck in baseball and where your hits end up. But for LeMahieu, that was not the case. And I know you weren't trying to make that case last week because you were, as you said, playing optimist in that situation, because LeMahieu was just bad. And that was it, point blank, period. Now, a little bit of life this weekend. So we'll see. They got a big 3-game series here with Cincinnati. Very big to see what their guys are at this point in the year to start July. I think the calendar in baseball plays a little bit of a factor. Like, let's get out of this month. Sometimes happens in June, July, August. Especially in August, I think let's get to September is a big thing, and let's just finish this regular season out. But maybe that turning of the calendar after a nice weekend to finish it, some production to finish it, and Garrett Cole pitched great to finish out the month. Maybe some positive vibes will carry into July here for the Yankees, and we'll see tonight. Luis Gil, do we think he bounces back?
No.
Yeah, he's done. He might get moved to the bullpen.
That's your setup, man, or your closer.
Yeah, it's over for Luis.
It might.
Well, all right, let's move to draft here. Is it draft time or is it trivia time?
It's draft time, I think.
Draft time. Yeah, it's draft time.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous for this draft. This is going to be good.
All right, let me get my drafting paper out. So we're doing the same thing as last week, where we're taking a full lineup, full 9 in the field plus DH, well, full 8 in the field plus DH, and then 3 starters and a bullpen pitcher. Now, I'm interested to see how this all works itself out, because it's a tough one. It's much tougher than last week's Subway Series.
There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys here. It's not easy.
It's a tough one. All right. So just to totally sum it up, we're drafting the best rookies since 2010. Nothing after their rookie year matters. It's best rookies since 2010. Much tougher than last week's. And I have the first pick this week because I won last week's draft. So make sure to go and vote on Instagram when this is posted, probably closer to the weekend, probably Friday. This draft will be up. Make sure to go vote on Instagram when it's up so you determine who gets the pick next week. Mike, I was struggling with my first pick here.
I'm
There's
happy you have the first pick here.
A lot of really good players. I'm happy I have the first pick here too, though, because there's 3 players I'm between, and I'm going to get 2 of them. So I'm happy about that. My first pick's going to be Trout.
Interesting.
Because,
Okay.
you know what? He only played about 130 games, and that's why his production's lower than some of the other guys. But he hit 326 and would have won the MVP if he played another 20 games.
See, he wasn't my first choice in center field, which is very interesting.
Very interesting. Then I probably know who your first choice in center field is.
Yeah, but I'm not going to take him because I'm going to take Judge in right. 2017 Aaron Judge. I mean, I don't have to 52 home runs, second most ever behind one guy. That's where we're going.
All right. This is tough as well. Because now there's
Perfect.
2 guys. I thought I was going to get Judge here.
It's perfect.
I'm taking Alonso because you're not going to get that production anywhere else.
Wow, that's crazy. All right.
It's not. I'm not getting that production anywhere else.
All right, my center fielder is going to be Cody Bellinger. 2017 Cody Bellinger.
Yeah.
That's who I was taking over Trout.
Yep. That was my decision was between he and Alonso there, but you know what? You're not finding the home runs anywhere else on this list.
No, you're not, but I'm going to get somebody with 1,000 OPS in his rookie year or 900 OPS.
That's true, Mike. It's a good point.
At first base still. So that's fine. I'm okay with that.
Let me go through the list here.
So we both have. So I have my center fielder and right fielder. You have your center fielder and first baseman.
Yes. And here I'm going to take. Let me just confirm here. I'm just comparing 2 guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Jose Abreu to be my DH.
Oh, so you just stole my first baseman, you piece of crap.
Flashbacks to last week.
What the hell? I don't understand that pick. All right. My shortstop is going to be Fernando Tatis, 2019. He didn't win Rookie of the Year. He came up late, but go look at those numbers. He was incredibly dominant in 2019. Probably the best rookie shortstop I could get in the last 15 years, whatever. So I will take Tatis at shortstop there.
That's a good pick. It's a good pick for sure. This is tough. You know, Corey Seager had a really nice rookie year.
He did.
But is he better than a lot of the other shortstops?
What Trey Turner did in a shorter period of time?
Turner, even Bobby Witt. Bobby Witt was a very good rookie, but I'm not going to take him. I'm going to take Chris Bryant here, third baseman.
That's a good pick. That was my next pick. All right. My first starting pitcher, I'm going to take 2013 Jose Fernandez.
Great pick.
Unbelievable in 2013. We know, obviously, the tragic death. He was going to be probably one of the greatest ever. I'll get my first starting pitcher here.
All right.
I'll be out ahead of that.
Yeah, it's a good job to get out ahead of that. That really changed the trajectory of the Marlins franchise.
It did. I'm also updating my list so I know.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing here. I'm cleaning up and
you took Bryant. Bryant's a good pick there, man.
I was excited to get Bryant.
I need a first baseman, so I got to start looking now. Damn it.
I need 2 more outfielders, second baseman, and a catcher. Catcher's tough.
Catcher, there's only 2 guys.
I know who my catcher is, actually. I forgot. I'm stashing one. I hope you totally forgot about him.
Well, I think I know who it is then.
Fuck.
But it's not. I don't have one of them. I don't have him. So,
dude, now you got me stuck on a pitcher here, and I didn't want to go this early to pitchers.
Well, too bad.
But you got me.
You took both of my first basemen. I mean, why? I mean, there's so many DHs you could have taken, and you take Jose Abreu. I don't get it.
I gotta come back to pitchers. I can't do this right now. Pitchers are stressing me out so
figure
much.
it out.
Dude, pitchers are stressing me out so much. And I feel like when people vote on this, they're gonna look more at the lineup because all the pitchers are just like blah on. All right. Yeah, I botched DH. I forgot the guy I wanted. I botched it. All right. Let me just secure. No. Oh, dude, this is a tough draft.
I'm beating you this draft. I'm totally
no, not
beating
yet.
you this draft.
Not yet.
Well, I don't have a first baseman. I mean, I don't know who I'm taking first base.
Big next pick here. Huge next pick for me. I need another outfielder so bad because I still need to fill 2 outfield spots, and I'm deciding between 2 guys, but both were leadoff hitters, so they didn't have much production.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to save that. And I'm going to take... I'm going to take a left fielder here. It's going to be Stanton, who had a decent rookie year. Good power, though. I'm adding for more power. Bad pick, though. But I need him. I need to get outfielder out of the way.
So you go Stanton.
Going Stanton as my left fielder.
All right. My second baseman is going to be Gleyber Torres.
Good pick.
There's not much production in terms of second baseman around for rookies. And 2018 Gleyber Torres, although he finished 3rd in Rookie of the Year voting that year, 24 home runs, 820 OPS at 271. Can't beat that.
All right, I'm going to take Ohtani. To be our right fielder.
Okay. I am going to... Can I move someone to... Can I move a player to left field even though he plays the other corner, or no? We're not allowed to do that. All right, screw it. Never mind. Never mind.
You can.
I'm gonna do this.
I panicked the Stanton. You can do it.
I'll take Acuna and move him to left.
Yeah, I panicked the Stanton. Bad panic with Stanton.
2018 Acuna. He's my left fielder. I don't think you can have a better outfielder than me. 2018 Acuna, 2017 Bellinger, 2017 Judge. Right there, I already beat you.
No, I'm gonna have better infield. But I'm glad you tried.
Hey, dude, you're up.
I know. Shut up.
I love the pressure. I love the pressure you're under right now. This is great.
Feeling it, man.
I'm about to go for the kill shot too. This is great.
We're not going for the kill shot.
Whenever you're ready.
I'm taking DeGrom.
Damn it, you fucker. All right, I'm taking 2022 Spencer Strider.
Good pick. Good pick. Give me... Dude, I'm torn between these guys. A lot of good rookies, but not a lot of good rookies at the same time.
Certain positions are very strong, and then other positions are just not strong at all. You also missed on another left fielder that you could have had.
Did. I know all the left fielders I missed on. I know all of them I missed on because I have this whole list, and Stanton's on the list, and I just botched it when I took him. I just botched it because Stanton's like 5th on my list of left fielders. But I had to make such a long outfield list because you can take any position of outfielder. Like, you can take 3 center fielders. So I don't know where you're going to go with it.
What was Stanton's rookie year anyway?
He had 60 RBIs, 22 homers. He hit like 250.
Oh my god!
I panic picked. He played 3 months, but I panic picked. I'm gonna take Buster Posey.
All right, that's the
I
guy.
didn't think I was gonna get him. Yeah, he was better than my other guy.
Sanchez.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sanchez was better hitter, obviously, but Posey was like I think he won the Gold Glove his rookie year.
Yeah. All right, my DH, Yordan Alvarez.
Good pick.
That's
Yeah,
another guy I could have put in left.
I'm not feeling good right now.
I just don't know who's playing first or third.
I don't know who's playing second.
Yeah, that's probably worse. I could find.
No, I have one that's not so bad, but I really got to go after this pick. I'm going to go deep dive his stats. I'm going to take my relief pitcher right now,
Okay.
Craig Kimbrell.
He didn't even take the best one.
Yeah, I did.
All right, I have to take my third base. Actually, no, I don't. I can wait on that guy. Am I allowed to take a player that is playing right now? Like, can I take Skeens?
Yeah, he's a rookie.
All right, Paul Skeens.
He was on my list.
Paul Skeens. I have my
Skeens.
3 starting rotate. I have my 3 pitchers. What do you have left? So I have
Second base, 2 starters.
I have first base, catcher, reliever, third base. Yeah, makes sense.
See, I'm trying to find out if there's a bet because my second baseman was Torres. Torres was the second best second baseman I could think of. But I'm trying to find if there was a player with a better season than Jonathan India.
I see it. That was my number. I'll give you that. He was my second
right.
guy.
He's the best
Yeah.
because I'm like panicking, making sure I make the right pick here. But Jonathan India I'm going to take him because he's the best second baseman.
Yeah, he was. I couldn't think of anybody better. Unfortunately.
Right. You're up, man.
All right, let's take 2022 Adley Rutschman to be the catcher.
Good pick. So Sanchez doesn't even get drafted here.
Sanchez does not get drafted. Sorry, Sanchez.
All right, let me just confirm these stats quick here. Oh, shit. The ERA is way higher than I thought.
For who?
Darvish. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was going to pick him. I'm like,
I thought he would have had like a 3.2 or 3.3.
It was a 3.9 ERA.
Yeah, we're cooked.
I can't wait for my first base pick.
Oh, dude, Tanaka.
Okay.
I just had to go with Darvish, fellow countryman.
You might get some brownie points there from the Yankee fans, which is not fair.
Dude, 13-5 with a 2.7 ERA. That's a sick rookie year. Come on, brownie points my ass.
It's a fake rookie. All right.
Oh, yeah, because Mango, we were celebrating him last year, but since he wears the right stripes to fake rookie.
I didn't draft him. My first baseman. In 2017, this guy had 189 ABs and 59 games and accumulated a 2.9 WAR. That would be Matt Olson, who had 24 home runs in that span with a 1,000 OPS. Since Kevin decided to steal, Jose Abreu from me in the 4th round to be the DH, I'll just sit back and take Olson.
Yeah, but Abreu was a sick rookie.
Okay,
that's a top 10 pick rookie, and I took him at the 8th or the 7th pick.
I don't know if I would have taken him that early, considering you could have gotten Yordan Alvarez as DH.
Abreu's rookie year, he had 317, 383 on base, 581 slug, and he had 107 RBIs, 36 homers. It's almost an MVP.
He was 4th in MVP. All right, but what about Alvarez's rookie year?
Come on, loser.
Alvarez won the Rookie of the Year. In
don't wanna hear
87
it.
games, he had 27 home runs, and he had an OPS over 1,000 and over 300.
Yeah, but he's an Astro.
I don't care. They weren't cheating in 19, dude.
All right, I have my final pick.
There's 2 more picks.
I have one more.
I have 2 more.
What? Center field, right field, left field, first base, second base, third base. I need a shortstop. My bad. All right, I have my second to last pick. Steven Strasburg. Finished the rotation.
All right.
Only pitched 12 games, but a great rookie year, 2.9 ERA.
Sure.
Sure. Shut up, dude. So condescending.
I can't wait for you to hear this pick. Third base. 2018 Miguel Andujar. Let's go.
He was great, man. He was great.
Great that year. I can't not take him.
You can't not take him. He was awesome.
He was second behind. He was second behind Bryant for me. Bryant, excuse me.
All right, now I got to bring this thing home here.
There's a bunch of shortstops you could take.
There are. But I really got to pick the right shortstop.
There's 3 right now that I'm thinking of that you could take.
I tell you what, man, you go through the rookie hitter stats. Ike Davis, 2010. Have a year. Have a year, Ike Davis.
Let's see.
You probably thought he was going to be like Alvarez that year. 71 ribbies, 138 hits.
Oh, don't spoil it for me. I'm trying to get there. But my computer's like.
All right.
You're picking a shortstop here, correct?
Yeah. IKF. No, I'm kidding.
Not with the 791 OPS, though. With him. Not good.
There's a lot of good shortstops. Bobby Witt had a really good year.
Surprised nobody took Jose Tabitha.
Wasn't on my list.
We sold there.
Dude, this is tough, man. There's a lot of shortstops. Starlin Castro had a great rookie year as a shortstop, too. Tatis was a nice pick.
It's a great pick.
Jeremy Pena just didn't produce enough for me. I loved Jeremy Pena in the moment a few years ago, but looking back, he was not as good as I thought.
Everybody loves Jeremy Pena. He's overrated.
He is.
I'm
off the Jeremy Pena train now. I was on it big last year and the year before. I'm off it now. All right, my last pick. My last pick's gonna have to be Seager. He just had a great rookie year, man. He had an excellent rookie year.
He was great. I can't argue with that. You could have went Correa, you could have went Lindor, it could have been Bobby Witt.
It was between those 4. And Trevor Story, too. Trevor Story had a good rookie year as well.
Can't blame you for Seager.
All right, you're up for the final pick.
My relief pitcher, Neftali Feliz.
Yeah, he was not better than Kimbrel.
He had 40 saves, 2.73 ERA, 69 innings.
Because he was on my list also.
Maybe he wasn't better than Kimbrel.
Yeah, so don't trash my pick before you know the facts. 46
but still
saves
really
Kimbrel. Kimbrel, 46 saves, 1.5 ERA. That's the best pitcher ever.
Yeah, my bad. I thought for whatever reason I didn't think he had more saves. Yeah, you got the better closer. That's fine.
So it's still pocket ragging on my pick like that, dude.
It's still those 2 though. It's still those 2.
It is those 2. Yeah, but you really, slammed my pick for that.
Also, the rookie of the year voting that year in the AL. I mean, Austin Jackson with 4 homers and a 745 OPS was second.
Yeah, he led the. He was like 4th and 5th in hits though that year, right?
I hope not. Oh wait, no, sorry, I was reading the wrong one. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Jackson had like 190 hits.
He had 181 hits.
Okay.
I mean, still, he had a 745 OPS. It's weak.
All right, you want to move to trivia, and we'll post those later this week.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
I think without looking at yours, I think you might have got me this week. The Stanton pick botched my whole draft.
Yeah, I think a lot. I think a lot botched your draft, but yeah.
No, it was just a Stanton pick.
I'm happy with my team. I think it'll be close. You're right about Abreu. He was a great player, but I got Alvarez, so.
Yeah, I got Chris Bryant, so. We thought Chris Bryant was generational third baseman. That post still does really well. If you haven't seen the Chris Bryant video on Instagram, go check it out. Still, people love it. People love the Chris Bryant video. All right, trivia time. This is the easiest trivia we've done, but instead of giving 5 players, we're giving 10 now. So Mike has to give me the top 10 players in home runs hit since 2010.
Okay. Giancarlo Stanton.
He is number 1.
Bryce Harper.
He is number 9.
Aaron Judge?
No.
So Alonso's not on that list either. Ooh. Albert Pujols?
Yeah, he's 6.
Good pull, Michael. Good pull.
Paul Michael, the best right-handed hitter of all time. Great pull.
Well, he sucked from 20-something on.
He did. I only hit 600+ home runs in his career. Great pull, Mike.
A-Rod?
No.
This is tougher than you think. Is Schwarber on that? No.
No. He's in the top 25, I think. Yeah, he is. Top 25, but he's not top 10. There's how many active players right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You already got Harper. You already got Stanton. So 7 active players, and you already got 2 of them.
Trout.
Yeah, he's 3.
There we go.
There's one guy on here that I'm very surprised is on here. Great long career, first ballot Hall of Fame career, but not really a power hitter. Or just not known that way.
There's active players on this list.
Yeah. More than half the players are active.
And are they like in their primes, or are they still like good players?
Yeah, they're all still good. The only numbers on the list that are retired, I believe 2 is retired. I'll double check right now. I believe 2 is retired, 5 is retired, 6 is retired. That's Pujols. That's it. 3 players that have retired.
I'm like really struggling right now to think of names, which is really bad. Because you said this is an easy list.
It is because you know all the names, but it's not. Well, you'll get it. You'll definitely get it eventually here. So 3 players retired. Just confirm that.
So 3 players are retired.
Yeah, you got one of them with Pujols. One of them is the toughest player on the whole list.
All right, so I'm gonna stop thinking about them for a second.
Yeah, go to the active players because
we're gonna start thinking.
You're missing there's MVPs on this list that you haven't said yet. Not MVPs this year. Players that have won MVP.
Yeah, this is bad. I'm actually embarrassed right now. Okay, let's keep thinking.
Don't be embarrassed, Mike.
Miguel Cabrera.
No.
He's not on this list.
Just misses. He's number 15, but he's not far behind.
Oh, God. Is Cano on this list? Didn't I just say Cano?
No, Cano's not even in the top 25.
Is he really
25 is Mookie Betts with 262. Number 10 on the list has 325 home runs.
JD Martinez.
JD Martinez. There you go.
That I know. Because they talk about that all the time on the broadcast. There are MVPs on this list that are still playing right now.
Yep. You're missing the second player, the 4th, the 5th, the 7th, and the 8th.
Oh, all right. Let's go Paul Goldschmidt.
He's number 4.
Nolan Arenado.
He is number 8.
Now we're cooking.
Yeah, now you need
How about
2, 5, and 7. 2 of them are retired.
2, 5, and 7. Oh, Votto.
No.
No,
He just misses at 14. Who, surprisingly, Votto and Anthony Rizzo have the same number of career home runs, 303. And Rizzo's done it in 50 less games.
Is Freddie? Wait, so I have all the active players ready.
No, you need one more.
Is Freddie on this list?
Yeah, he's number 7.
All right.
Kind of crazy. Freddie has 333 career home runs. I mean, I've always praised him. I've always loved him. I think he's been the best pure hitter in baseball, but he just not praised a power guy. We don't think of him that way.
My brain was, for whatever reason, stuck on American League players, and then I flipped the switch there. Thank God. All right. So now I feel better about myself. All right, is Ryan Howard here?
No.
Since
he didn't play enough after 2010.
So 2010, there's retired
players. The other 2 guys retired within the last. I know number 5 was playing in 2019. I have to check if he played.
David Ortiz.
No. Oof. They're players worse than him though. Like they're not. These are
Chris
not
Davis.
MVP.
Chris Davis.
No.
Oh my God.
One guy that really. Okay, so one retired in 2020, one retired last year.
And it was news when this guy retired.
No, because they were faded by that point. That's why they're tough. They bounced around teams and they were just faded out.
Nelson Cruz.
He's number 2.
There we go.
So now you need number 5. Number 5 is the hardest player on the list to get.
That's a good pull. That's a good
pull. Nelson Cruz, good pull. Best
so
DH.
I only have
Best
number
DH
5
in our lifetime. Great pull, Mike.
Oh, Jose Batista.
No, he's right outside also.
Edwin Encarnacion.
Yes.
Let's go.
There you go, Mike. Good job. Good job. Tough one. But see, 5 would have been too easy.
Yeah.
Getting Stanton, Cruz, Trout, Goldschmidt, Encarnacion, but maybe not. That's tough 5 actually because of Cruz and Encarnacion. Because you don't think of them as great. We don't think of them as great MVP caliber players.
Yeah.
All right, it's time to hit for the cycle, Mike. You failed miserably 2 weeks ago.
No.
Can you? No, you didn't. You did fairly well.
So I hit the triple, which is incredibly difficult to hit. All right, so we're gonna hit for the cycle here. We're gonna pick one. All right, I'm gonna start that over. We're gonna hit for the cycle here. We're gonna pick a different player to hit each legs of the cycle. So we'll start Trey Turner playing the Chicago Cubs in Chicago to get a single. To hit a double, we'll go Teoscar Hernandez. He's at home versus the Diamondbacks. To get a triple, I'm really going to be picking with a few guys here. We'll go C.J. Abrams at home, big center field over there against the Mets tonight. And then to hit a homer, Matt Olson against a guy that I think his name is Birdsong. That's his last name for the Giants. Matt Olson hits a homer tonight in Atlanta.
All right, there you go. So you can play along with Mike. Let us know if you do on Instagram. We'll post that later today, and you can see how you guys did. Mike, how much? What are the odds on that?
$10 wins you $3,656.
Very nice.
Plus 36,568.
You can get a nice summer bonus tonight. You play along with Mike for hitting for the cycle. We'll have one of those every week. We've been slacking the last week or two with it, but we'll have one of those every week moving forward. Mike, let's move around the league here to the big bad Houston Astros.
Yeah.
And that's how we'll wrap up this show, is around the league. What do you think of this team?
Yeah, so I'm actually about to go place another bet, and that's the Astros to win the American League. They're going to win this division. The Mariners are just pushovers at this point. They haven't been able to pull away, even when the Astros were struggling with a ton of injuries. They've gotten guys back. Valdez is back. Hunter Brown, who got off to an historically terrible start, he's been great lately. Had another great start the other night. They're going to get Verlander back at some point, and they're going to get Kyle Tucker back. They've won all these games without Kyle Tucker, who was having an MVP-like season if Aaron Judge wasn't in his league. So he was having a great year. This is a really good team. They're experienced. They have the pedigree. I didn't even mention that Alex Bregman, after a bad start, has really stepped it up. This team is going to go on a run, and they're going to view this as one of the last opportunities to make a run to the World Series. And I think they'll get aggressive at the deadline and go make a big splash for a starting pitcher and go win this American League.
You got to be so confident after the last 3 weeks that you can make this run, because the Orioles have been very bad. The Yankees have been even worse. And you guys, the Astros, have been great. And Cleveland is getting ready, I think, to get a little bit of a cushion on their 1 seed, even though it's only 2 or 3 games right now. They're getting ready to try and make a run at the 1 seed here with the deadline and with the sorry, having a little technical moment here. With the deadline coming up, they could make the run at the 1 seed. They can add a player or two, add some arms. Houston's got to feel great about the landscape of the American League because the Orioles and Yankees are not playing well, and they might just start cannibalizing each other. And this division with the Red Sox playing well might just beat down these teams. And most importantly, the AL West stinks.
Yeah, they're going to have an opportunity to, I don't know if they'll grab the 1 seed, but maybe a 2 seed. Like you mentioned, the Orioles and the Yankees just beat the crap out of each other in a tough division. It's always a tough division in the American League East. And yeah, the West sucks. They're 3 games out now. They were like 9 games out a couple of weeks ago. The Mariners just did not take advantage of their opportunities. They let these guys just kind of live. They didn't kill them. And now they're back. And this team is going to win that division easily. They're going to have a home playoff series. And who knows what seed they get. Do we trust Cleveland? I'm actually starting to like Cleveland, start to believe a little bit. They need starting pitching. I'd like to see them go get a big-time starting pitcher at the deadline because I think they have offensively enough to go and win a postseason series. They're an interesting team. So we'll see what happens with them. And they have a great bullpen, and that's always a recipe for success in the postseason. So Cleveland, people weren't taking them seriously. I was definitely one of those people. I'm now starting to take Cleveland a little bit seriously. They could be a potential threat in the American League.
Right now, Cleveland is the 1 seed. It's way closer than I thought. I thought it was 2 games. It's actually just a half game over Baltimore because Cleveland's got the 52, or maybe a game and a half. Cleveland's got the 52 games. No, it is a half. Cleveland's got just less games played. So Baltimore with more wins. So it will probably be an AL East representative still. But the Texas Rangers stink, Mike. What the heck is going on here? They're going to be big sellers, too, at the deadline. Listen, you got your ring, so you feel good about it. But they are just horrible.
Yeah, they're going to be sellers. They have a couple of pieces I'm looking at for the Mets to grab, actually, in that bullpen. But,
Not David Robertson. He's making his 3rd stint with the Yankees.
Okay, that's fine. But we want Kirby Yates.
That's fine. You can take Kirby Yates.
Listen, they World Series hangover, right? A little World Series hangover.
They do. They had injuries coming into the year, but yeah, the lineup just hasn't been as dominant as it was. And listen, I always say with the Rangers, let's flash back to the last week of September. You didn't think this team was going to make the playoffs.
No.
So they're one of those World Series teams where, of course, they did it. It's not Mickey Mouse that they did it. I'm not saying it shouldn't have happened, but they were a game or 2 away from not making the postseason at all, which to me means they're not a great regular season team. That's all that means. That doesn't mean they're not a champion. That means they're not a great regular season team.
Right. And it might be a little different, though the wild card is tough this year. There's some good teams in that American League wild card this year. So, they're going to have to be in striking distance right late, and they're going to have to start picking it up pretty soon.
See the Marlins DFA'd Tim Anderson during this episode?
Oh, wow.
Now that fall off.
That's big.
That fall off of Tim Anderson is an incredible one. I know he's 31 now. He's older than people think. But still, he was one of the best second basemen, if not the best second baseman in the league, really behind Altuve. He was the best second baseman in the league for a few years.
Yeah, it's ever since he got punched in the face by Jose Ramirez, it's been a steep drop off.
Who also, by the way, is incredible. Jose Ramirez is 6 RBIs behind Aaron Judge this year in Cleveland. He's having a great year, man.
Is he a Hall of Famer? He might be a Hall of Famer.
He is. He's a Hall of Famer.
He's on track.
Definitely a Hall of Famer. Definitely a Hall of Famer. Because he's one of those guys, and you know what? I don't even have to say this. Usually I say he wouldn't be the worst guy in there. He wouldn't even be close to the worst guy. He's good. He's had a great career, Jose Ramirez. Under the radar. He was always the best player on Cleveland, and Lindor was way more exciting, and we all thought he was a better player at the time. And once again, this is not Lindor disrespect, but Ramirez has just done it so quietly. And under the radar there, he took the small contract, the big pay cut. He could have got close to $300 million on the open market.
Yeah.
He takes a small $124 million deal to stay in Cleveland. He loves the low-key status there of that team, and the organization wins. Let's say, they win as much as anybody.
He's on track. He's on track to have one of his best years of his career this year too. Last year he had 24 home runs and 80 RBIs in 156 games. He's played 79 games this year. He's 23 home runs and 76 RBIs already. He's having an absolutely fantastic year this year. His best year of his career is probably 2018, where he had, he had 39 home runs, 105 RBIs, had a 939 OPS. That's probably the best. He's having a great year. Good for him. I hope he hits 40 home runs this year and, has that recognition that he deserves.
Jose Ramirez is probably going to retire as the best Cleveland player of all time, Indians and Guardians.
Interesting.
Probably, because you look through I'm looking right now at the rankings, and it's subjective, it is, but his WAR backs it up also. He's got a 45.6 WAR when this article was written, which was updated 13 hours ago, so it's up to date. He's got a 45.6 career WAR. Jim Tomei has a 48 WAR. And Kenny Lofton has a 48.6 WAR. But then everyone else is pre-1945 with Cleveland.
Right.
That's above them. So I think the fans, like Nap LaJoy has their highest of all time, retired in 1914. He's an 80 WAR. So all time, fans are going to look at Jose Ramirez as the highest modern player in WAR ever, and I think the best player to ever play for the franchise.
Yeah, that's crazy. Good for Jose, man. Good for Jose.
He has been that great. He's an RBI machine too his whole career. I'm an RBI guy. I know you're really not.
Yeah.
But I like RBIs as a stat, and he's had now, this is going to be his 4th year of 100 plus and his 7th or 8th year of 80 plus. That's great production.
I don't know. I've been looking at it for the last few minutes. I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer yet, but he will definitely be a Hall of Famer.
He will. Yeah, he's only 31 still, so he's got ways to go. Another World Series appearance would definitely help him out.
Like if he retired today, I don't know if I would vote for him today. But
he's got 7 top 10 MVP finishes and 4 top 3 MVP finish. No, 3 top 3 and 1 he finished 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been great. He's been so consistent too and durable. Plays 150 games plus a year except for 2020, which is the blemish on everyone's stat card back of the baseball card because it was 60 games, but he played 58 games that year. So after he became a full-time player in 2016, he's 152 games is his minimum. Oh no, he played 129 in 2019.
He was top 10 still. He had a little like, I don't want to say a drop off, but like wasn't as good as he usually is last year. And he still was top 10 in MVP. Very interesting.
Yeah, last year he had a drop off. He hit 282, 356 on base. His OPS was 831.
It's a drop off.
And that's a drop off. 24 homers, 80 RBIs. That's the best third baseman of our lifetime, no?
Him?
I mean, no, not our lifetime. I'm sorry. Like our viewing time. Like for me, it's like since 2010.
I think Arenado is better.
Oh man, I think I take J-Rom.
Really?
Arenado's got an MVP. He's got a triple crown, I think, right?
Arenado
Did he lead the league in average? Did he lead the league in average?
I don't know. Let's look.
Oh, he never led the league in home runs, I don't think. I was totally off with that. He did.
No, he did. Twice. He didn't win the Triple Crown.
Okay. What was his average that MVP year? His highest year of average, what was it?
290. Oh, no, he had 309 in 2017. But those, like, great years. Well, no, he had a really great 18. 315, 41 home runs, 118 RBIs.
That year he led Triple Crown watch for sure. I guarantee
287, 294.
Oh yeah, you know what? He's got a lot of top MVP finishes also, Arenado.
And he's a Gold Glove, big Gold Glove guy.
I think we could leave this one to viewers too. We'll chop this up, put it on Instagram, TikTok. Who's had the better career, Jose Ramirez or Nolan Arenado?
I'm on Arenado.
You go Arenado, I go Ramirez. However, so close. Arenado better fielder at third. Ramirez not a bad fielder, always serviceable, always reliable, but Arenado was a monster fielder.
Yeah.
That's a nice way to end this show today, Mike.
Interesting debate. Do we
That's a
throw
nice
Chris
way to end
Bryant
this
in there? We know.
Terrible.
Do we
Just
throw
terrible.
Chris Bryant in there?
We have a lot of Chris Bryant fans at BTO Media because of that video. You know, we've really attracted the Chris Bryant Rockies fans like Giuseppe Rocktober. But no, we're not going to put Chris Bryant in there for no reason. He totally deserves it, though, right?
Yeah, definitely.
My God. How did he not end up in there?
I don't know. Is it injury? Can we blame injury?
What happened? Whatever.
Absolutely wild.
All right, great episode today. Thanks for watching. If you watched on Instagram, thanks for that. If you watched on YouTube, thanks for that. You can also listen on Spotify. Always, if you miss it, make sure to listen to the morning kickoff Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. I'm not doing a Thursday episode this week, though, because I'm celebrating my country's independence. And after this week, we have one more Boroughs, and then I'm gone for a week. And then I'm gone for the following week again.
Maybe I'll do a solo Boroughs, or
You're
I'll
do a
throw,
solo
we'll throw
Boroughs.
Gabe on here.
I'll have to throw Gabe on Boroughs because I'll be out for a week or two. I'm going to Europe, so excited for that.
Oh, where are you going
big.
to Europe?
Ireland.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. You got any cruises? Yeah, I am pumped. I'm excited. You got any cruises coming up?
Yeah, one in August, and I'm going away in what week are you going to be away? Because I'm going away in like 3 weeks.
15th to the 25th.
Oh yeah, I'm going to be away a little bit.
All right, Gabe's got to do Boroughs on his own.
Yeah, solo Gabe Boroughs.
Solo Gabe Boroughs. All right, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, wherever you get it. We appreciate the support. Make sure to check out Instagram, TikTok, and make sure to go vote on our all rookie year teams because that will determine who gets the draft next week for our big second week of July episode of the Boroughs. We'll see you then. Thanks for listening. Till the next one. I'm Kevin Bunk with Mike Merlo.